Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. This is going to be a load of little series that sort of go into the same format. It is back to Prem, where we're going to try and take every team that was in the original Premier League in 92-93 that have dropped out of the Premier League and try and get them back in there in 3 seasons, unless they've dropped even below that level of football. A prime example is Oldham, who are in Sky Bet League 2, so you need a minimum of 4 years to try and get them into the Premier League. However, we're starting with Middlesbrough, who are in the Championship. So the plan is we get 3 years maximum, see what we can do with them in that limit, that time limit, see where we can get them. Can we get them out of the Championship to the Premiership? Can we get them challenging for Europe or a cup or something like that? But that's what this is about. This is episode 1. Let's get into the game. And here we are. We have been hired as Middlesbrough manager. They've confirmed the appointment of Cultured Left Foot as the club's new manager. And here we are in the club. We have taken charge. It's all been officially announced now, which is absolutely brilliant. There will be 3 episodes per season. So the game, or the series as a whole for Middlesbrough, will last 9 episodes if we do all 3 years and we go through it. It'll be 1 at the beginning of the season, 1 in mid-season just after towards the end of January, and then 1 at the end of the season. There'll be obviously a lot more editing as we go through, especially this first sort of bit will be around about buying new players, looking at the club, and we'll go through that. It's just small little series that we can hopefully use to explore different things about Football Manager. It's been out for quite a long time now. I've got my big save going with Folkestone and Victor, and this is a slightly different thing. That's a long-term build. This is a 3-year stint with lots of different clubs to see how we can do and what happens and how we do. So tactics and stuff, we don't need to do that. I'll skip all that. The club vision, yeah, we'll accept that vision. That's not a problem. What do they want us to? I should probably look at them. Mid-table, top half, win promotion to the Premier League. So we want to be, I don't mind going in with that. Ideally, back to the Premier League is what we want in the 3 years. If we can do it quicker, then it's get back at that there and see what we can do. So we will come back when we've got a few things to look at in terms of signings and who we want to sell and who we want to get rid of. So I'll see you then. So straight away then, in terms of finances, a £1.5 million transfer budget isn't that much. 334,000 weekly wage budget, and we're already spending 318,000. So it looks like we're going to have to sell to buy. We haven't got the biggest squad in the world. If we go into the under 23s, we also don't have we have got a lot of people there, but no one who's really down there because they're not good enough for the first team. There's a lot of young goalkeepers that we've got. But if we look at the squad, if we go and have a look at the contracts, highest earner, Britta Sombalonga, signed from Nottingham Forest, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, 15 million, so a lot of money for Britta Sombalonga comes in. Rudy Gusted is up there as a squad player on 30 grand a week as well. Daniel Ayala, the centre-back, and Johnny Howson, centre for Dan Randolph. In goal, actually, I think he's just moved to West Ham in real life, I think, when I'm recording this, in the January transfer window in real life. But yeah, so the squad is looking it's actually quite a well-balanced squad. We've just got to, where am I going? Custom, Dave. We've just got to make sure that it's, we keep it that way and don't ruin it too much. It is set up to play a 3 at the back formation, and luckily I have one of them that I made earlier. So those of you that are familiar with the Folkestone and Victor save, this is the formation we're using currently in that save, and it's the one I'm going to use here if they're set up for 3 at the back. However, players that we need to sign are likely going to be some sort of complete forward. We have Ashley Fletcher pressing forward and an advanced forward. We have Britta Sombalonga, who can play as the complete forward, but yeah, I'm not too sure about that. He can actually do the advanced forward role as well. And Rudy Gusted, who's a bit of a target man, will probably look to move Rudy Gusted on and free up some wages and a bit more money. In terms of wing backs, that's another area that we might need to look at, especially at right wing back. Johnny Howson can play there, but he's more of a central midfielder, and Jixtel can definitely play there, but he hasn't really got any backup. Left wing back, we're okay. We've got 2 or 3 players that can play there. But we'll have to have a look at who's available in the transfer market, and we'll be back when we've got some transfer news. So we've made some signings. We're on the 29th of July, and we've got Luton Town coming up in our first league game in 4 days' time. The signings are We were lacking experience at the club. Let's go and have a look. First up, Darren Fletcher joins the club in central midfield on 10 grand a week. Not too much really, only on a year contract as well. Thought very good to get him in. He's got some very good stats still. Obviously had a bit of like an illness and an injury when he was at Man United at the end of his career, but he's doing very well. West Brom, he played well. Stoke, he played well. We've brought him into Middlesbrough just to give us a bit more cover, and we'll see how many games he gets. If he plays more than 10, he gets a new contract. So yeah, he's not the oldest player we've brought in, and he's 35. Next up, 41-year-old Lucio, the absolute beast of a centre-back, who was probably made his name at Leverkusen, I'd probably say, and Inter is his biggest sort of memories. Yeah, he's been floating around Serie D in Brazil, and I thought we would pick him up on a free. I mean, look at those stats. Heading's ridiculous, marking's really good, tackling's really good, positioning's good. He looks really, really good. He likes to run with the ball through the centre and get forward whenever possible. Likes to hit free kicks with power and beat men repeatedly. Dives into tackles. He could get so many yellow cards. But he's in to bolster our defensive line. Ryan Brewster comes in to give us another option up front on loan from Liverpool. Pacey, good bit of a sort of a hitman really, but looking forward to getting him involved. He'll play back up to Asombalonga and Ashley Fletcher. We haven't had any outs yet at the club, so we're still sort of dealing with what we can at the moment. But yeah, Ryan Brewster joins as well. And our director of football has picked up a young English striker, Luca Navarro, who used to play for Bolton. I'm not too sure why he's picked him up, but he has. Who knows? We may see him in this save when we get to the latter points of it. But yeah, pre-season has been okay. Wins against the lower teams. We lost Chris Brunt's testimonial to West Brom. We beat Westerlo and then lost to Feyenoord. But up next is Luton, so we're probably going to play this first month of games, or maybe the first 5 or 3 or something like that, and see how we get on. And then we'll come back to have a little bit of review, and then that'll be the end of the first episode. So yeah, we'll be back to review a few of these games once we've played them. So here we are then on the 1st of September, and excuse me, we had a fantastic start to the season. 3 back-to-back wins, one of them in the Cup. And then it all went a bit awry really. 1-1 draw with Blackburn, Wigan 1-0, Millwall we lost, they were bottom of the table, that was dreadful. 2-0 loss to Burnley from the Premier League, they came to us, we didn't play very well. And a 1-1 draw against Bristol City. So overall we've made a good start to the Sky Bet Championship for Middlesbrough. According that we were predicted to finish mid-table, and the season preview has us, has us up in 5th, even though we haven't actually made that many good, like too many new signings. I don't know what's more surprising really, the fact we're up in 4th, or the fact that I've played Lucio 4 times in the league. He's still got it. I mean, average rating 6.85, sorry, last 5 games 6.82. He's very good. He still does it really well. But normally in that sort of libero role is where he's playing well. Darren Fletcher, not so much. One game, 1 start, 3 sub appearances. We're scoring goals. Asombalonga's got 6, so he's playing quite well. Ashley Fletcher's got 2, but we're not scoring enough of them. That's our issue at the moment, is they're not scoring enough goals. I think what we're actually going to do is we're just going to go through, we're going to do another 2 months, and we'll come back at the end of October for a bit of a review as well. And we might even get this whole season done in 1 episode, depending how we go and depending how the recording's going. But we'll see what's going on. In terms of tactics, we're still playing the 5-3-2 formation. It's sort of working. We've had a few tweaks with it during the game and in times like that. But overall, it's going pretty well. Yeah, at the top of the table, Leeds United, then Reading, then Preston, then us, West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday. Hull were the early runners at the top of the league with us, if we just compare both of us. So yeah, we were sort of interchanging. Leeds have been up there and just sort of stayed there. Reading, Preston, West Brom, Fulham and Brentford have all sort of been mixing around up there. But it's been an interesting start. It's been a very interesting start to this Sky Bet Championship, and we'll be... hopefully we can maintain this and be in and around the playoffs in the future. But overall, dynamics wise are going okay. They very much support me, which is good. The dressing room atmosphere is okay. It's getting better, and team cohesion's getting there. In terms of hierarchy, lots of people support me, which is good, but a few are still no real opinion, so we'll have to work on that. And in terms of happiness, most people are happy. Darren is dissatisfied with how the club is doing. That's surprising, according to we're well above where we should be. But overall, most people are happy. There's a few that are slightly or just content. But overall, I'm happy with how it's all going at the moment. And it's a very different way of playing compared to what I do with Folkes and Victor. So hopefully you are enjoying this. Obviously, we failed the third round in the FL Cup. But meh, I'm not too fussed about that. They are, and they're very disappointed about losing to Millwall, obviously. Yeah, it's going all right at the moment. We've had a few injuries, and a few people have got recurring injuries. So you see, we've seen 25% increase in injuries so far, from what we average to expect. Our position of joint 12th injury shows that other teams are also suffering injury problems as well. So yeah, it's very, very different. It's very interesting to play this save. And yeah, we'll be back for a little review at the end of October. We'll play all of September, all of October, and come back and see how we're getting on. So we're at the beginning of November / end of October, and it's still going pretty damn well. 5th in the Sky Bet Championship, so it's been a little bit lower than where we were before, but we've been always in and around the playoffs, which is absolutely great. To see. It's been going reasonably well. We are 2 points off the automatic promotion, but Leeds are sort of running away with it, 10 points clear. There will be a series with... Were Leeds in the Premier League in 92? Yeah, they were. So they'll be one of the clubs in the series as well. As will Derby. As will Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Blackburn. Oh my God, there's loads of teams in here actually. Would Derby count? Derby County might not have been in 92. I need to do my research and look into that, but that's for future series. Charlton will be in there. Nottingham Forest will definitely be in there. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. Lewis Wing is up there as the highest average rated player in the league, so you can tell he's been having a good season. But appearances for Lucio haven't been forthcoming as much in the second half of this bit. Second half? Is it the half? I don't know if it's the half. But, yeah, where is he? Lucio. Lucio's there. He's played 8, so he's only actually 2 appearances away from getting... Is that in the league? He's made 8 appearances in the league. So, yeah, he's 2 appearances away from getting a new contract. And Darren Fletcher has made 7, I think. 6 he's made. So... Yeah, I mean, they're actually being very useful. They're actually coming quite in handy quite a lot. If we look at goals, Assombalonga's still top with 9, and he's been out for a really long time with an injury. So 9 in 12, he's doing really well. 6 in 13 for Ryan Brewster, 5 in 11 for Ashley Fletcher, and then 2 for Lewis Wig, and then 1 a pair for Taverner and Ryan Shotton. Assists-wise, at the moment, Lewis Wing is doing really well. He's actually just earned himself a new contract. This guy looks like he's going to be really, really good. I've never really heard of him before, but I think Middlesbrough have got themselves a bit of a player in this, in the Football Manager anyway. So if you're in the English leagues and you want to go and try and buy a deep line playmaker, I could recommend this guy, especially for Championship level. He's doing a fantastic job. Talking of fantastic jobs, Darren Randolph, I don't know how his average rating is a 7. He's kept us in so many games. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, very, very good. Only conceded 15 in 14 games with 4 clean sheets. He's doing very well indeed. We are now up to, as I said, November. So we'll probably do November and December and then come back in January. And we'll probably, because I didn't realise how often we'll be coming back, and this is the first one in the series, we might even be able to do like a whole season in season 1 in episode 1, season 2 in episode 2, and season 3 in episode 3. But we'll see how it goes. But I think, yeah, we'll play through. We'll come back in December, just before the January transfer window. We do need to invest in an attacking midfielder, because the plan was to use Lewis Wing in attacking midfield. However, he's so good in that deep line playmaker role that I don't really want to use him there. When we have Ashley Fletcher and Assombalonga back, as I said, Assombalonga's been out with injury. Ryan Brewster actually was playing in attacking midfield and did quite well, but Marcus Taverner has got Burnley interested in him. So if we can get a fair bit of money for him and then reinvest that into an attacking midfielder, I'd be quite happy with that. What else have we done in this? Staff-wise, we've brought in a few members of staff. I've brought in a new director of football in Zlatko Zahovic. Those of you that follow or have watched my NK Maribor save, then you'll know who Zahovic is and why I have a love for him. I don't know if is his son in the game, because that's where this all stems from. Luka Zahovic is in the game, and I'm going to scout him and potentially buy him because I'm a sucker for romance. So Luka Zahovic is... Go and watch the NK Maribor series. He got his own chant and everything. He's a bit of a club hero at NK Maribor. Scores goals for fun in Slovenia. I would much rather have him in the club than I would Rudy Gusted. So that's why if you come back, when we come back in January, we're going for Luka Zahovic. Now you know why. But yeah, it is going well. The tactic seems to be working. We've had a few mixed games. As you can see, a few losses sparkling in there. So we were there, weren't we? We came back last time at the end of August. We lost to Fulham 1-0. A very disappointing result, to be honest. I don't know if we can get the match stats up here. So yeah, they played slightly better than us, and they're a good team. It was Reed that scored the goal, Bobby Reed. But overall, we've been doing alright. 2-2 against Huddersfield. They obviously got relegated. That was a good result. 2-2 against West Brom. They're up there challenging with us. An 83rd minute equaliser for them. We absolutely smashed Birmingham 4-1, which was really good. Actually, which game was it where they missed a penalty? Was it Cardiff? No, Cardiff was mental. That was 5-4. That was absolutely mental. There was a game where someone missed a penalty. I think it might have been the Preston game. No, because we won that 3-1. Jeff Simmons scored that penalty. It might have been this one. Nathan Ferguson, I think, may have missed the penalty and then put the rebound in. It was very, very frustrating. And obviously Huddersfield are a very good team. But yeah, we've got we'll go all the way through to the end of December. We'll see how the time's doing for recordings and stuff like that. And we'll be back then. Not too much to report. I'm going to try and move some people on. George Friend is just so injury prone. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm happy to maybe move him on, especially that he's 32 as well. And George Saville hasn't really played for us. So if we get a bid for him, then I'll be happy to let him go and reinvest the money into other things. The under-18s and under-23s, not too much to write home about in terms of these players. Stephen Walker, someone that we're sort of keeping an eye on as he does well in the under-20s. Connor Maley could potentially come in and help us out in the attacking midfield role, but doesn't really seem sort of set up for it. And other than that, it's all a bit slim pickings really in the reserve. Sam Collins is there as a wing back. You know, current ability, it says he's very good for the youth team, but his potential ability is absolutely woeful. So I think it's not too much of a problem. And then in the under-18s, we'll go through and, yeah, not too much going on here either, really. We've got one really highly rated player in Kane Sykes, but he's a long way off the first team, which is my look into it anyway. So, but generally, yeah, it's going really well. I'm enjoying playing with Middlesbrough. It's interesting to see another team use this tactic that I've created as well, and it seems to be going pretty well. So yeah, we'll be back at the end of December to celebrate a brand new year in Football Manager. So we're back on the 31st of December 2019, and we're in third still. It's going pretty well. Leeds are running away with it. They beat us, and that extended their lead. If we had won that game, we would have got 2 points behind them. But we've got to try and keep up with Brentford to get that automatic promotion spot. But it is looking very, very good, to be honest. We were last together then for the results from November, or at the end of October. We beat Derby County 1-0, we've beaten QPR 1-0, we beat Hull 3-1, we beat Barnsley 3-1. That's the game we lost to Leeds 2-0. Really disappointing. 2 goals in the 90th and the 91st. We pushed for a goal ourselves. They countered us twice and got the goal. Very annoying. Charlton, we beat them 3-0 and then went on a pretty bad run. 4-1, we lost to Nottingham Forest. Rudy Gusted actually getting a goal. Still trying to sell him. 2-1, we lost to Swansea with Britt Sombalonga getting our goal there, and then we lost 2-0 to Stoke as well, which was pretty dreadful, and we're at home. We turned it around against Huddersfield with a 1-0 win, losing Britt Sombalonga though for 2 months? Yeah, like 3 months, 4 months he's going to be out for, which is ages. But we have just beaten West Brom 5-2 with a good performance, lots of different goal scorers as well. It's been a killer. What hurt us here is the back-to-back Saturday, Tuesday, and then Saturday, Thursday games. Our squad just isn't big enough. So in the summer, we're hopefully going to be going out there and getting a lot of different options that we can use in the squad. So appearances-wise, Randolph hasn't missed a game this season. Fry, Lewis Wing, and Ayala all playing very well. Shotton, Ashley Fletcher, Mark Boller up there as well. Unsurprisingly, Lucio has now made 11 appearances in the start of the season. He's played very well in them. He's got a new contract for 1 more year. We've also turned him into a staff member as well. So when he retires, we'll probably try and get him as a coach if possible. Darren Fletcher will likely make his 10th league appearance. I think he's made 9 so far. Yeah, 9 in the league. Chances are he'll make his 10th because it's still a very busy period around the new year. So we'll have to see how he gets on. In terms of goals, Ryan Brewster and Ashley Fletcher are at the top, but I have got unavailable players on, which also includes Assombalonga, who's up there for 13. 6 for Marvin Johnson out on loan, so he's actually doing quite well at Sheffield Wednesday, but we don't play wingers. 4 for our right wing back, Jicka, and he always scores absolute wonder goals. And then 2 apiece for Lewis Wing, Tavernier, Bolla and Ryan Shotton. Assist wise, 8 for Lewis Wing, he's doing well, and then Jicka and Assombalonga getting 4 each. Best player so far, Lewis Wing. He's been absolutely brilliant, training superbly as well, and we've signed him down to a new contract, which is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, in the let's just put my unavailable filter back on. So you can see it's quite a small squad, and obviously this does include Rudy Gestead, who we want to sell. It does include Darren Fletcher and a 41-year-old Lucio, who will be 42 next year, next May. So come the end of the season, he'll be 42. So he might just naturally retire anyway, even though he's just earned himself a new contract. But we do need numbers. That's what we need. However, we're very much struggling. We are over our wage budget by about 30 grand with the new contracts we've given out, and we really don't have any much transfer money left either. So if we whack all of that into there, we still don't have enough to cover our wage budget. So we probably are looking at trying to move people on to get new numbers in, because as I pointed out before, our under 18s aren't really up to very much and can't really step in when we need them to. So we are going to look to move on the likes of Rudy Gusted for a very cheap amount. What's he worth? Like 320k. Let's see if we can get 250k for him right now. George Friend is another one who's been playing a little bit of football for us, but he's so injury prone. I'll happily move him on. Let's see if we can get £1 million for him. I understand that this is getting rid of numbers before we can bring them in, but that's just what we've got to do, I think. We'll be looking at the loan markets to get people in for minimal wages and hopefully no wages, but we'll have to see how it goes. So Cardiff are in. They want us to pay money for him. No, I don't want to pay his wages. That's the issue. Although 4.1, yeah, go on then. Go on then, we'll give you a deal. Rudy Gusted, go on, look. Can you get your name out there, please? Middlesbrough, Zach Hemming is going to come back from Hartlepool. He's not going to offer us any sort of help. And yeah, so I mean, it's going well. The season is going well. We're on course, obviously, within the 3 years to get back to the Premier League, which is the point of this save. But we're struggling with numbers, and that's what we need to sort out. I mean, Lucio is our 4th choice centre-back at the moment. He's starting because Ayala was injured, but now Ayala's back. So we do need to have a look and see where we can bring people in. But this is the first one of the series. The next one will be released on Wednesday, hopefully. If you're interested, the only reason I can fly through these is I've got an absolutely super PC and I'm only loading the English leagues that I need. So I've only got Championship and Premier League loaded in this whole save. So there's like minimal processing and minimal of that stuff whenever I'm in between games. I've got the highlights on really quick. No replays because I'm not showing you any game time, so I don't need to do that. And that is how I'm getting through this so quickly. But this will be the end of the first episode of the first series of this. The second episode will be from January till maybe the end of the season. We'll see how we're going. And then the third episode will probably be the summer transfer window. And then that will be season 1 of the first series of Back to Prem being complete. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of this style of video. And let me know which club you would like me to do next. We've got the original. Anyone who was in the Premier League originally in 92-93 is eligible for this save. So please do let me know. And I'll be back with episode 2 on Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching. I'm out. Cheers.